Assalamu alaikum. How are you learners? I hope all of you are fine. This is lecture number 3 part 1 class 5 subject English language topic does he remember. Okay learners, open your textbook page number 15. The story is does he remember. First of all, we will talk about the vocabulary words and their meaning. The first word is bay, deep, deep-throated, lengthy bark. Cacophony, harsh sound, determinedly, in a decided or resolved manner, emitted, gave out, or light or sound. Frantic, greatly excited, frenzied. Fumbled, touched or handled awkwardly and uncertainly. Illuminated, light up, leash, a chain or a strap attached to the collar of a dog. Muse, to consider thoughtfully, prolonged, lengthy, drawn out, scrawled, written hastily and untidily, scurry, to go with light running steps, wrenched, pulled roughly and with force, writhed, twisted and turned. So let's start reading. Mike stood waiting at the garden gate. There was a padlock and chain on the gate. Padlock means detachable lock. It was firmly locked. On the wall beside the gate, there was a large round button. Above the button, there was a sign that said bell. Mike had already pressed it once, but he now pressed it again. He had thought about climbing over the gate and entering the compound, but he knew that the large sign on the gate meant what it said: beware of dogs. Below the lettering of this sign, someone had scrawled means careless handwriting, they will have you for breakfast. In these lines, the story is about, basically, this is the story of two friends, Mike and Nabil. After a long time, Mike goes to Nabil's house. Mike was standing at garden gate. The gate was strongly chained. At the side of the gate, there was a button with a sign that said bell. Mike had pressed the button, but nobody came outside the door. He had thought to climb over the gate and enter the house, but there is also a signboard on the gate that was saying, beware of dogs, beware of dogs. They will have you for breakfast, or they will eat you as their breakfast. Last paragraph of page number 15. Mike thought this was amusing. Amusing means funny, but he also knew that it might be true, judging by the barking he could hear coming from the house. He was not going to take the risk and come on textbook page number 16. Become food for these creatures. Besides, he was now too old to be climbing over gates. Perhaps the dogs had heard the bell running again, and or possibly they had sensed their prey. For the baying became more frantic. Frantic means insane, or baying means barking of dogs. It was not a yelp. Yelp means bark or a howl, but a deep-throated and prolonged baying. The animals were obviously hungry. Mike waited and mused about the old days. He shifted from one foot to the other, thinking about all the occasions he had visited this very house. Those were the good old days. Nabil was such good company, and those dogs of his, they were little puppies then. How he had teased them, how time had moved on. He was an adult now. The description of these lines are: Mike thought that it was written for entertaining. He also knew that it might be true that there was dogs inside the house, as they yelp or bark. He thought that they were obviously hungry. When Mike was waited, he had remembered his good old days time and thought that time the, these dogs were little puppies then. Textbook page number 16, paragraph number 3. At last, just as Mike was becoming a little annoyed, an old man came scurrying out of the side door of the house. He appeared with his urgent shuffle to be hurrying, but he took forever to reach the gate. On this seemingly long trip, he searched all the while in one pocket after another. When he finally reached the gate, his smiles indicated that he had found what he had been looking for: the key to the padlock. The old man fumbled with the keys and in due course opened the lock. The heavy gate squeezed and screeched as it was swung upon as, as it was swung open with some difficulty. The old man stood to one side to let Mike in. He then used some effort to have to have the gate shut again. It was apparent that the gate had not been opened in a long while. The description of these lines are: At last an old man came quick light step out of the side door of the house. During his journey to the gate, old man was searching gate keys in one pocket after another. At last he had found. The old man nervously opened the door. The door was opened with great difficulty, as if the gate had been opened for a long time. The next reading is: Mike waited for the old man to lock the gate. More fumbling. Then he followed him to the front door. The baying from the depths of the house reached new heights. Mike made sure to keep close to the old man, determinedly staying a step behind him. On entering the hall, Mike was shown into a large dark living room. The heavy curtains on the windows kept out the light. Although it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon and there was bright sunlight outside, a table lamp in one corner emitted a dull glow that partially illuminated a small section of the room. Mike could just make out the figure of someone sitting on the sofa near the lamp. "Hello, dear Mike," came a greeting from the shadowy form. "It's been many years." "Ah, Nabil, is that you?" asked Mike nervously. "Yes," came the reply. In these lines, the writer writes: After this, Mike followed the old man to the front door at 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, Mike entered into a large dark room. There was a table lamp in one corner that gave off a dull light. Mike saw that there is someone sitting on the sofa near the lamp and said nervously, "Are you Nabil?" The reply is, Nabil said, "Yes, I am Nabil." Now learners, come on textbook page number 17. Okay learners, we will read page number 17 of textbook in next lecture. Allah Hafiz.